This is a Rise classic.
Hello everyone, it's CarX, and today's video we're talking about liveries and creating drift missiles or beaters or like comp cars, stuff like this. You know, cars like this or like my S13, kind of like my RX-7, different stuff like this. You know, different colored panels, head scratches, the right way to do scratches, different stuff like that. And yeah, so let's get into it. Alright, so first step would be obviously creating your car itself, finding inspiration. Now you can find inspo from like Pintrest or Instagram, TikTok, and really anywhere, but I would recommend like Pinterest is a good place to start. I'll leave a place to go in Pinterest, like a page that you can look for a decent amount of inspo. And yeah, so once you have your inspo, make the car, right, just like the actual car itself, body kits and stuff, and then you can go into the livery. So let's get into that. Alright, so once you're here and you have your body kit and stuff, and then maybe your wheels or whatever, then you can go into your paint and then look for a standard base color that you want to go with. I want to go with like a white. And then so once you have that white color, if you have a different color that's a little harder to get, you can always just come here and then copy the color code. But for now, we're just gonna do this, and then we're gonna go into the vinyl, and then we're gonna make a new layer, and we're gonna put this layer from this corner, from the front corner of the car. We're gonna put it all the way to the end. So we're just gonna expand it as far as we can, and then make sure you click projection, and then symmetry it, and then you're gonna copy and paste it, and then click projection again, so it goes on this side of the car now. So now the layer is on two different sides of the car, right? And it covers the whole thing. So now we can do like colored panels, stuff like that. Now you just want to get the color code. And now if it's an easy color to do, then you can just like do this, change the color. If not, you can always copy the color code and then go into here and then paste it, and then, you know, apply it, right? And then you can always go back and then find the color code again in there. Yeah, that's like the main base start. All right, so now I'm gonna be talking about doing different colored panels, you know, front bumpers, side skirts, fenders, hoods, roofs. So first thing you're gonna want to do, if you want to start making a fender, I would recommend, depending on the car, you can use this right here. This is what I use to make fenders. I use this. You can also use this here, this layer. Obviously you want to use the square or this one right here. So just for now, we're gonna start by using this one, and let's say I want to make it like there we go, we're gonna make it black. So one thing I do want to talk about is if you're making a drift missile or anything where you know, a side skirt or front bumper or you know, fender isn't like fully painted yet, make sure it is not gloss, okay? Because an unpainted car isn't gonna have glossy look to it, right? So you want to make sure that's on matte so that it doesn't have that look. So yeah, then what you're gonna do is you just want to kind of adjust it, fuck around with it, try to get it right, and then once you do, you're gonna really adjust it and then keep fucking with it. Now try not to use too many layers on something like this. It's really not necessary, but like just enough to where it fits. So there we go, right? I outlined it. That's pretty easy. And then I can always cover this up in a minute, and then make sure you symmetry all this. And then for doing something like this where I'm covering the edge, usually what I'll do is I'll just do something like this. There we go. And then maybe copy this once again. Alright, boom. So now we got like the mediocrely hard part out of the way. So last thing I would want to do, or not last thing, sorry. Next thing I would want to do is just add a thing here, cover this up. So now we got to move on to masking the hood. So usually how I do hoods is I look all the way up and then click projection. And then that usually gives me like a good idea on where to start. So then I just drag my thing all the way here, and it gives me like a base place to start at. And then what I'll do is I'll just kind of copy and paste this, just like this. All right, so once I'm done with that, then I'm just gonna mask the rest out. So let me do that real quick. Alright, so once you have it masked, then what you can do is you can just go here, and then you can just add this over Alright, so boom, there we go. So now that I've done it, it's not a very good job because I try to do it quickly, but now that we have this little outline here, what we can do is we can go back and cover up some of these bleeding spots. So for instance, like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a square layer, and then I'm gonna change it to the base color of the car. And this is what I mean by when we color the base colors, so that we can cover up things that we don't do. I'm gonna cover up this, and then I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna use a circle for this one, and I'm just gonna move it along. Get it right. There we go. Now I noticed that this isn't fully down, so I'm just gonna move this down. There we go. So now we have a masked layer here, right? This is a fender. Now pretty much what I explained in this section is everything that you really need to know about masking. So using your projection to kind of change the way the layer actually sets. So like if I take this layer for example, so the way it looks right now, right, just like this. So if I move over here, it's gonna look a little wonky in different places, right, because of the projection. So you know, you can really adjust it. You can get different like looks with it, like, you know, you see. So if it's ever looking something like this where it just doesn't look right, like something's not working correctly, just kind of mess around with the projection. It should fix things. And if you ever need to like change the way something is fitting or something, then that should help. So yeah, there you go. Next thing I'm gonna go on to is doing roofs. So how to do colored roofs. So let's say I wanted to do a black roof. What I would do is I would start with a circle here and then change it to black, right? Again, you want to do matte or whatever color, but you know, it just depends on the type of build you're doing. And then you want to stretch it out and make it big enough to where it can adjust to this side piece right over here, just like that. And then you want to symmetry it. Now if it's doing something like this, just look up and then place it again. That's what I mean by the symmetry shit. It messes up sometimes, so you just kind of have to readjust it. And then there you go. And then what you can do is you can just go here and then make this circle pretty big, then stretch it. And there you go. Now you have that. So then after you're done with that part, on the other side, you can take this right here and then shrink this down. And usually what I'll do is I'll use 2 layers for this. So 1 layer here, and then I'll use another layer to cover. So just like that. There you go. Yeah, that's mainly it for covering roofs and fenders and everything else. Now everything else that I talked about on the fender is going to be the exact same for everything else. The hood, you know, just messing around with the symmetry, try to figure that out. I promise you got it. Trust. So this next thing I want to talk about is also what kind of style you're going for with your build. I probably should have talked about this a little sooner, but the style you want to go for, there's like a couple different styles. There's like street style, drift missile, like comp style. You know, there's a lot of different like drift missile styles you can go with. I can show you some examples that I have. So this is like drift comp style, right? Now excuse some of the scuffs because it's a different body kit, but right, this is like a drift comp style. This is more of like an old school 80s 90s Japanese, like, you know, drift style. Obviously that's something. Then this is again like an old 80s style. You know, there's just different like styles that you can go with your builds. So you know, once you figure that out, everything else should be a little easy. And once you have an inspiration for it and kind of what you want to go off of, you can really do whatever. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is adding like manual tinted windows. So the reason we do manually tinted windows is to adjust things and to make it seem like there's like no window down here. So if I wanted to have everything else tinted but just these windows look like it's down, you can make that effect doing this. So what we're first going to do, make sure you're looking, make sure you're in the front window or wherever. And then this is what I usually do. Now it depends on every single car. It's a little different, and I'm not going to lie, it is kind of annoying sometimes because sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it to. So you just kind of have to fuck around with it. But for the S13 in particular, I use this layer right here. It's in category 1. And then I just stretch it out. And then I continue to stretch this all the way up. And then I look just like this. And there you go. So now I have a fully stretched thing. And then I just make it black, make it whatever you want. You make it candy, gloss, anything, it doesn't matter. And then I just lower the opacity of it. And as you can see, there's two different tints, right? So it adds more of like a tint effect to it. Makes it look a little cooler. And then you can do this with other parts of the car, right? So for usually on the side skirt, or I said side skirts, usually for the side windows, I use a triangle, but you can use whatever fits the section of the car. So yeah. And then also make sure you symmetry it on the other side. Now for the back window, I usually use this for the S13. Make sure you're not symmetrying it, or else it's gonna look like this and it's not gonna look right. So yeah. Well, there you go. Now you have a tinted car, but with only these not tinted. So now what you can do is, let's say you wanted to add a fake window rolled, like halfway rolled. You want to use this layer right here in the star category. It's like the first category. And then you're going to shrink it and then stretch it down and then stretch it across. And then you can turn it a little bit, just like this, make it a little bit different. You can adjust the size however you want, however you like it. And then use the exact same color you did for the other tint. And there you go. Now you have a half rolled down window. All right. So next thing I'm going to talk about is I want to talk about adding like numbers on the side of your car. So stuff like this. So how to make stuff like this. It's incredibly simple, and I mean it. It's so simple. But I'm still gonna go over it just in case you're making a livery like that and you want to try to add something like that. So first thing you want to do is go into this category over, where is it? I think it's over here. Oh yeah, it's right. All right, so you want to go to this category and you want to take this square right here, and then what you want to do is you want to change the color to whatever. So like, let's say you do want white, right? And then you just want to change the background color. So what you do is have this color and then change, and then copy it, paste it, and then change the other color to the exact same. So make sure they're both like black or both white or both whatever, right? And this is going to be your top color, your top little layer here. So just shrink it down to your size, your liking, and then then you're good. So now you can already see it starting to come together. And then what you can do is copy this and then find a sticker in either one of these categories. If you don't have one of them, it's fine, but just find a sticker that you like, that goes well with it. So let's say like YOLO tires. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So let's say this, and then maybe make it like red, something like that. I don't know. All right, something like that. All right, boom. So now we have this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the regular no, letters and numbers, and then I'm just gonna do a number. So let's say like 4 or 5. Alright, so there you go. So now you have a thing. Look at that. Look how nice that looks already. Right? Save layers, really nice. Looks good. Now if you want to add the tape effect, since the new update for the layers, they actually added a missile category and they added tape. So what you can do is you can take the tape and then you can shrink it down and then stretch it and move it in so it's a little skinnier, and then you can stretch it here. Or if you want, you can add like an effect where it looks like it's see-through a little bit, kind of like scotch tape. So you can do that too. And then you just copy this, and then usually I like to make it look like it's not fully perfect, just to make it look like it's just like they kind of slapped it on there, right? So like that. Well, there you go. Right now you already have a decent kind of missile look, right? You know, for comp style. So there you go. If you wanted to know how to do that, that's that. Now if you want to add front window banners, like something like this, like not the stickers on it, but just the actual banner itself, I'll show you how to do that now. So first, you want to make sure when you add this layer, you're looking all the way up, right? So let's say you have your camera here, but you don't want to look here, you don't want to look here, you want to look all the way up. And then now also again, it depends on the car. So maybe if it's a little weird, then you can look a little more down, right? Just kind of fuck with it. Anyways, you want to go into the first category again, and you want to take the triangle and then click projection, and then you want to look down, and then you want to stretch it to the side. Now as you can see, it's not really perfect, right? It's really not. So what you want to do, stretch it, bring it up. There you go. Right, starting to look a little better. Stretch it, bring it up, and then just keep doing that until you get like something that you like, or something that fits right. Now if you think it curves too much, you can always, like I said, do the projection thing, and then it'll change the way the projection looks. Now again, if you're getting something like this, something like that happening, now that's bound to happen. Just kind of fuck with it, and you'll figure it out. It'll come. All right, so there you go. So kind of a bad one. Oh, I have it a little scuffed. All right, well, I'm gonna just do it like this then. Boom, there we go. All right, so we have something. There we go. So we have a little banner, right? So now that you have a banner, right, you can do different things with it. You can change the color, right? Whatever color you'd want. Let's say I want to go with something like this. All right, boom, look at that. That already looks pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of this to gloss, and I'm going to lower the brightness just a tad bit. There we go. And yeah, there we go. Now we're already coming up with something that looks pretty sick, right? So if you want to add like another little effect to it, what you can do is I'm gonna just adjust this some more, make sure it looks good. So if you want to add another layer to make it look like there's another color popping out of it, what you can do, copy it and then drag that layer underneath, and then you want to take this color and then just drag it down a little bit. And there you go. Now you have like a little effect to it. Now you already got something going, looking pretty nice. For the sticker stuff, you know, that's something that you really just have to mess with. I'm gonna show you guys how to do one sticker in particular. It's gonna be the Thrash racing sticker. This one I've seen a lot done wrong. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do this one. Just real quickly, I'm gonna time lapse this just a little bit, just to show you guys how to do it. So yeah. Alright, there you go. So now this wasn't like the best of the best Thrash racing I've done, but you know, this is a pretty decent one, right? And it's a pretty small one, but there you go. That's kind of how to do it. No, that's mainly what you want to do. If you want to add like the full effect, if you want to just do something simple, then you don't have to do that. Now if you're wondering how to get the sticker this small and like, bro, how the fuck, don't worry, show you. So if you're on console, unfortunately you can't do this. It's a GG's, man. But if you're on PC, there's an easy fix. So first, make sure you have Kino installed. I would assume you have Kino installed. Now open Kino, right? And you're gonna go over here to visuals, okay? The visuals, and then you're gonna go to minimum sticker scale right here. Boom. And you're gonna change this. So usually it should be like somewhere over here, right? You're gonna change it all the way to 0. That makes it so that stickers can go as small as you want, to the point where you can't even see them, right? And that makes it so that editing layers is like mad easy, man. There you go. So that's that. Just dash sticker. All right, none too hard. So yeah, next thing I want to talk about is adding some scratch effects, so only little like scratches from paint, so nothing crazy. And I'm gonna show you how to do that now. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to come over here into your layers, your stickers, and you want to go over to the missile tab category, and you want to choose this sticker here, right? It's the little scratch effect. That should look like this. And then I usually make it metallic, but you can make it whatever, right? Depending on the color of the car, the look of it. And then what you want to do is you want to stretch it down to where it looks like a straight line, just like this. And then you want to stretch it, right? And then this will add this little slight effect to it, to the car, to make it look like there's paint coming off of the car. And not just that, but like little bit of scratches, you know, from like driving or, you know, stuff like that. And right here, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using the projection to my advantage to make it so that this layer actually goes around this perfectly instead of being a straight line. So I'm going to look in the direction that I need it to be, right over here, and then I'm going to put that layer there. So there you go. So now you're already like starting to make this like effect, this realistic scratch effect. And yeah, not bad, not bad. So what I would recommend is, if you have enough layers, try not to fully copy everything to the side. Make it a little bit diverse on each side. But if you don't really give a shit about that, then don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. Now I would recommend not going too overboard with this, right? Make it kind of minimal. Jesus. And then, you know, if you need, make sure the opacity is lower. If it's too like, you know, vibrant and it's popping out too much and it looks kind of unrealistic, because you don't want it to be too crazy, right? Now make sure you add it on the front bumper, especially the side skirts here and there. And then what you can also do is take one of these layers, increase the size, stretch it out a lot, and then what you can do is lower the opacity by a lot, and then you can add this like cool little scratch effect on the side. So there you go, that's something to add. Yeah, so the next thing I want to talk about is adding like a grunge dirt effect to it. So first you want to go into this layer, or keep saying the layer, this category, tab, whatever you call it, and then you're going to want to choose this right here. So once you choose this, make it black, and then stretch it out, and then you can make it however big you want, and then you want to lower the opacity by a lot. So there you go, you're already getting like this little dirt grunge effect to it, and adds a little bit more texture to the car, makes it look a little bit different. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can make it different sizes if you only want it on certain parts of the car. You can do it on like the hood and shit. Adds a little bit more texture to it. Next thing I'm going to moving on to is flake. All right, so just to give an example, these are some flakes on one of my cars that I've done. So as you can see, the flakes are very like slight, but like you can see them just enough to where like they pop just right, and they look good, right? They look pretty good, especially this color. All right, so to do flakes, your first step is make sure you have obviously a layer panel thing, right? And then you want to use this sticker here. It should be in this category. Now you can use the new flakes, which are these in this one. But my only complaint about these are they're a lot harder to see. Like as you can see, you can't even really see them right now, right? They're just like, I don't know, they seem a little bit too low opacity. These you really have a lot of ways of adjusting. So first, make sure that this layer is chrome, or you can do hologram, whatever you want, and then lower the opacity by it, just like that. And then what you can do from there is really fuck around with it and start placing them. So my recommendation is start on the front bumper, and then you want to work your way around. Obviously symmetry what you can, and then the stuff that you can't, just stretch out. And yeah, you know, go along with it, right? Try to figure it out, try to see different areas that you can do it better. And then yeah, that's mainly it, man. So I mainly wanted to just talk about that, which was flakes, just get that out of the way. So next thing is adding actual like dirt grime, right? Dirt effects. So you're gonna go back into this tab, and then you're gonna choose this right here. It's this like, I don't know. You're gonna choose this. All right, and then make sure it's black, and then you're going to set it down in the corner, and then you're going to move it, right? And then you can change the opacity, and then you can copy and paste this around, and then you can get different looking effects to it, right? And you can see you can get this nice dirt effect. And if you want more on a certain area, right, you know, you have that ability. All right, yeah, so that's pretty much how you do the little dirt. Now you can add more little effects, right? Using these, you can cover up, make like a scratch dirt effect to this by just making this black and then lowering the opacity a little bit. All right, there you go. See? Not bad, not bad. So next thing you can do is maybe add some dents, right? So for dents, it's very crucial to know which dents go well with your car. So like different kind of dents may look weird on different colors. So for white, I know for example like this looks pretty nice. Doing something subtle, right? You don't want to do something too crazy overboard. Like using something like this doesn't really seem to look that realistic in my opinion, and I think these only look good on maybe like the front bumper or something. I don't know. Even then, it just doesn't look too great in my opinion. So I'd recommend using either this one, or this one, because these bring the most realistic like look in my opinion. Like as you can see, these just bring like a more realistic feel to them in my opinion. So yeah, adds a different vibe to it. How to make it look like there's a piece from your car that's like missing, like on the fender or something. So let me show you. So go back into the missile category, and then you're going to go over here to the rust section, and then choose which one did I do? I think it's this one right here. And then you want to make this black, and then you're going to change it to candy. Then you're going to change the size, and then you're going to make it, you know, boom, right here. There you go. So now it looks like there's like a little piece missing from your fender. You can change the size of it, right? But don't go too overboard and do something like this. I think that kind of looks dumb. I mean, it still looks kind of realistic, but I just think it looks a little overboard. So yeah, there you go. Something like that looks pretty sick, right? Add a little something. Doing slap stickers, again, pretty simple. You go into the missile category, and then what you can do is you can take this, which is a preset for slaps, and then, you know, make the size a little smaller. And then usually what I do is I first copy and paste the slaps that I want on there, and then what I'll do is I'll go in, change the color, kind of fuck around with some stuff. You know, you can do chrome, candy, hologram, matte, metallic, basic, and just kind of fuck around with the colors, find something that you like, and then find a sticker that you want to put on it. Now don't go too crazy overboard. Again, make sure you do something slight and simple, because, you know, save layers, and you don't want to make it look too crazy. Like something that you probably wouldn't want to do is do something like 3 stickers on one slap. Like let's say you do, right, something like that, right? That just doesn't look right. It just looks kind of wonky. Something that would look cool though is something like this. So maybe slide performance, and then you can change the color. Maybe do a red, change the background a little bit. All right, there you go. See, that looks pretty nice. But yeah, you get the gist. That's kind of how you do that. And yeah, man. Now, if you came here expecting to know how to do custom stickers, unfortunately, I have no idea. But what I will give you is a tutorial on my YouTube on how to create custom stickers using Nomax Image Lounge. So if you want that, go to the description. It's the first link, and yeah, take it to it. But other than that, man, that's mainly what I have for this. I don't really have a lot much to talk about. There's more stuff that you can add, obviously, for the missiles, right? You can do a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, you can go overboard with this, right? Like you can go, like, this is what I made the other day, right? You can do some crazy stuff like different fades and, you know, different stuff like that. But yeah, there's not really a lot I can talk about. I just kind of something that you have to experiment with, fuck around with. I gave you the gist of what you can do, right? You know, how to create panels and kind of the styles you want to go for, how to get inspo. Talked about how to create these little banners, you know, simple garage dash racing, some of these, some slaps, you know, different stuff like that. Yeah, if you guys have any more questions, please let me know in the comments below. I will be sure to reply to every single comment if anybody asks something. You know, this wasn't probably the best video. I'm not the best livery editor, but no, it's just something, man, to help people out, because I know a decent amount. So, you know, yeah. Anyways, boys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this, drop a like for me. Yeah, it's been Crowd Boys. Peace out, man. Goodbye.